Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a story where an illegal was running away from ICE during an ICE raid at Home Depot in California. And he unfortunately ran onto the freeway and got run over by a car. Okay, so this is not the kind of story that I want. What I want from these people is to stop invading my country and go back to their own. I have no personal animus towards them. I do get pissed off when they try to claim that they have a right to live in the country that my ancestors built. That kind of offends me, so I get angry in my videos. But I don't wish any physical harm on these people. I just want them to go back to the countries that they came from, that they were born in, that their ancestors built, and make their countries better. Okay, so this is not a happy story. This is very tragic for the person. And overall, I don't want to see this kind of stuff happening in America. But what the protesters are doing here is the exact opposite of a fair analysis. What they want is to pretend that this is all ICE's fault and that they did something wrong by doing their job and administering and enforcing the immigration law that has been passed by Congress. Okay, so they took the exact wrong lesson from this, and instead of saying what needs to be said, which is that these people shouldn't be here in the first place, and they're the ones who committed the initial crime of breaking into our country, they're instead blaming ICE and venerating the criminal who got killed. Okay, because breaking into our country is a crime. Even if we don't prosecute it as a criminal offense, technically, it is a crime to break into somebody's house. And that's what you're doing when you break into America.
Good morning. That chaotic scene unfolding here just outside the Home Depot on Mountain Avenue. Witnesses say that man, a day laborer, was seen running from the Home Depot across Evergreen Avenue there and onto the freeway where he was struck. Witnesses say that man was yelling for help at passing vehicles before he was hit. And we have video that captured the shocking scene moments after it happened. Monrovia city officials confirming that man was hit on the 210 freeway as he was fleeing from an ICE operation here at the Home Depot just before 10 a.m. Thursday. The California Highway Patrol says he was rushed to a hospital but didn't survive. Meanwhile, Homeland Security officials insist the man wasn't being chased and say they didn't know about his death until hours later after the operation wrapped up. But that tragedy here sparking outrage and a demonstration at the Home Depot, with protesters calling that official account into question and also calling for an end to immigration raids with sun.
So I actually watched a video with somebody who was a direct witness. So what that guy said, they were not specifically chasing down this guy. Okay, he saw that the ICE cars were coming and he decided to run to the freeway. So it was not like they were chasing him on foot and they literally chased him onto the freeway. That's not what happened. He got scared and he by himself ran away. Depending on who you talk to, the guy I saw who was actually there physically said there were like 10 ICE cars, and there are many people running away. So they were after many of the people who were running away on the street, the ground level near the Home Depot. The Home Depot is on the ground level and the freeway is above there. So this guy decided to run away and try to go to the freeway. And what kind of idiot is this? Okay, who do you think is going to stop on the freeway to help you? There are cars going like 50 miles an hour and he was hit by a car going 50 miles an hour. But the point is, first of all, you should have never been in the country in the first place. That's the first crime. Okay, then you did something stupid by running away from ICE. Then you did something even dumber by going into the freeway, where speeding cars are not going to stop for you. Okay, they physically cannot stop because of the speed that they're going at. So people are like, oh, he was scared. Okay, maybe he was, but he did a very dumb thing and now he's dead. Okay, so that's kind of like a Darwin Award there. Okay, why are you running into a freeway? I mean, he's been here long enough to know how freeways work, I think.
Sparked that wild scene.
Enrages me, and people should be ashamed of themselves that they're treating humans like they are rats on a street. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Yes, we should be ashamed for supporting ICE, which is doing their job to enforce the law. Yeah, if they don't want to be treated that way, they shouldn't come to a country that doesn't want them. Okay, they illegally break into this country, and this one has the temerity to shame us for supporting ICE and for shaming ICE for doing their job and getting these invaders out of our country. Okay, talk about missing the point of this whole thing. If he didn't illegally invade our country, he would be alive back in his country, having a much better life because he would still be alive instead of dead. Okay, but this one thinks that ICE is the problem, and people who support ICE, who want to restore our country to what it used to be before the taco invasion, we are the problem. Okay, we must let the whole world invade our country. Otherwise, we should be filled with shame, according to this one here.
Rats on a street. They should be ashamed of themselves. It's just a tragic.
I'm proud of what ICE is doing. And I'm happy to support it. This is a tragic accident. Like I said, I don't wish this on anybody. I just wish that you would stop invading our country. That's what I want. And then none of this stuff would be happening. But no, they must invade. They must invade America. Okay, because they're convinced that we owe them something.
Senseless death. When is it going to stop? And we just can't have this anymore.
We can't have these savages invading our country. I agree with you 100%, lady. 100%.
Federal agents should be held accountable for the man's death. ICE local enforcement began June 6th. Last month, we know a federal judge issued a temporary restraining order preventing the government from detaining people based on racial profiling or without access to legal counsel. Well, the federal government has now appealed the issue to the U.S. Supreme Court, while ICE raids have only increased. Now, if we come back out here live to this Home Depot, witnesses say at least 10 men were seen taken into custody during that operation yesterday. A vigil now planned today at 5:30 for the man who was...
Yes. Vigils for the criminals, insults for the police, and there was another witness who said there should be a criminal investigation into the ICE agents. They literally didn't do anything to the person that was run over. His dumbass is the one who decided to jump into a freeway and got hit by a speeding car.
The desperation, I can't even imagine what was going through his head.
The faces of these exasperated protesters making up a human tapestry of different backgrounds, from a Duarte City Council member.
There's a lot of dehumanizing going on at the national level.
To a 16-year-old.
You don't want to be dehumanized? Don't break into our country. Okay, this country doesn't belong to you. Your ancestors didn't build it. You have no place here. Okay, and you weren't even born here. Okay, that's the least of it. But every single country has a history and a tradition and a group of ethnic people who built it. This country was built by Northern and Western Europeans as well as African slaves. Okay, that is a historical fact, a fact that is very inconvenient to all these people here, because their taco-eating ancestors didn't build this country, and therefore they have no right to be in this country. But they seem to think they have all the right to break into my land that my ancestors have been building since the 1600s and claim that they have some right to stay here. This is how you lose sympathy from people like us, from foundational Americans, because they claim to own something or have some kind of ownership or right to something that their ancestors or them didn't even build. Okay, this is how you piss the native people of a certain country off. When you say entitled, arrogant, things like that you own a country that you have no connections to. America owes you exactly nothing, zero, bupkis. Okay, nothing. We don't owe you opportunity. We don't owe you help. This country's government's job is to serve its citizens whose ancestors have been here since the establishment of the 13 colonies back in the 1600s. Okay, 1609, that's when the first English colony was established here, Jamestown. And then after that, the Swedes, the Dutch, the Finns, many other Northern European groups came over here and helped build the 13 colonies. Those are the people who have a right to be here. Everybody else has been given a legal privilege which can be revoked.
Monrovia High School student who helped organize the rally as part of her anti-fascism group.
Honestly, it's so unfortunate. I'm so sick of what's happening right now with ICE, and unfortunately it was only a matter of time before someone did pass away.
Yeah, were you sickened when millions of savages were assaulting our borders and invading our country? Mrs. Anti-Fascism, were you appalled by that? No. It's only when the law is being applied on the illegals who invaded our country that you're appalled. Interesting.
With ICE, and unfortunately it was only a matter of time before someone did pass away.
To the daughter of day laborers.
These are hardworking people that are coming out here day and night. They're doing the most that they can for a country that they love.
All of them.
I don't care how much they love a country. Just like that, you can't attack women claiming that you love them because they don't want you. Just like that, America doesn't want you. We don't want you. Get your ass out of here. Nobody asked you to come here and work. We can build our own country. We've been building America just fine without you. Nobody asked you to come here. We don't want you.
Vowing not to stay silent.
The defense of democracy starts by defending the most vulnerable, by protecting the most vulnerable. And I think that many Americans really understand that.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Defend the vulnerable. That's not what democracy means. Democracy means that we have a representative government that represents the interest of the citizens of that country. The citizens who built it, not you. I don't know where you came from, but you're not from here. Okay, and you have no rights here. You shouldn't have any rights here. And unfortunately, the courts, being the bleeding heart idiots that they are, have given you rights, but you don't deserve any rights. That's the point. Everybody in the world apparently gets to come to America randomly. They get to break in and have all the same rights that I do and that George Washington had back in the 1700s. So these are the kind of lunatic ideas that are being pushed by the left. And of course, like I said, they blame the ICE agents who are doing their jobs and enforcing the law, instead of blaming the illegal who broke into the country and then subsequently fled from federal agents and that got run over. Okay, so he got flattened. That's called the Darwin Award. He ran into a freeway, which is the dumbest thing you can do. And that's all I can say. He's not eating tacos anymore. And that's all I gotta say for this video. Very sad, but this is what happens when you have foreign invaders coming to the country. Bad things happen to everybody. Many native citizens have been killed. Laken Riley's dead because we allowed this invasion. Many other American women, white women, have been killed because of this. And the left has nothing to say. None of these people were crying for Laken Riley when she got almost raped, but strangled and murdered by an illegal. No words. Rachel Moore dead. Nothing for the victims of these illegals. But when the illegals die, they're all crying for them. I got nothing else to say on this. Okay, these people make me sick, these protesters, and they're completely wrong. They're siding with criminals and against the police. What can I say? That's all I got to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in my next one. Stay safe out there.